Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Cookiecast. Today on Cookiecast, it's the NFL podcast. It's week 17, which is the last week of the regular season and the last week of the fantasy season. Find out who wins in our fantasy league, find out who's going through to the playoffs in the NFL season, and see who we think is going to be taking on the Super Bowl this year. So here we go. This is a review of week 17 of the regular season and the last week of the fantasy season, and a preview of the upcoming NFL playoffs. Now let's play the game.
Fight your way through the legs.
They're all flashing.
Here we go. Ready?
If I just hold that as it is,
I've got to take my equipment.
I'm
Quick
holding it.
monk.
I'm holding it.
No.
He's knocked it.
That was my
At least you didn't
He's
make
fact
it as difficult as possible.
He's fact it.
I didn't know you were going to right on my head,
hell.
given the amount of floor space.
Is this me? That is you. By the way, how quick did Costa get the festive cups out of the...
Oh, literally,
Out
they
the
just
window.
throw them out the window. Literally the next day.
Andrew, you're not wearing an American football jersey. Is there a
No.
reason behind this?
Wearing my new T-shirt
Of course you are, you slag.
for
Not in our
no
league.
reason whatsoever.
Not in our league.
Nothing related
bitch,
to
punk.
today's podcast.
Who do you think you are? Tom Brady?
Brady.
5 times.
5 time.
Unbelievable.
5 time.
Who do you think he is? Booker T?
5 time. 5 time. I will now have my jersey, please.
I will now have my...
I just want to show off my T-shirt.
Present to you with your jersey. Look,
Feel lucky today.
Is that guy in the
Don't
playoffs?
feel
feeling
I
lucky?
don't feel lucky at all today. Jesus Christ, day, what a fucking train wreck.
I think that guy's in the playoffs, isn't he?
Well, that's why I thought I'd put it on. Playoff ready.
These guys,
They're not in.
not so much. Just gonna put that footy on there.
OCD.
I'm in.
Right.
I said I won't wear blue. It makes me look fat. Not anymore. Right, okay, so 9 minutes in, it's podcast time. Let's do this. Not giving it one of them. It's NFL podcast. Nuffle
Take a
to
check.
those
in the know. Apologies.
Heard that for the first time, literally about 7 days ago.
Yeah, I'd not heard
I'd
of
managed
it
to avoid it.
until Mike Myers did it on a video I watched. Apologies to the YouTube subscribers, of which we've gained another 100,000, obviously. I did say last week that there was loads of different angles going on. Then when I checked the new angle, it was unusable and it's been sent back. So yeah, we're back to just the 3 camera angles. I'm here, your host, with my co-host, Mr. Paul Williams. Finishes with non-branded coffee. And the stats mistress has joined us. Did we assess whether we can get into the?
You can. There's just basically all the players just have nothing next to them because obviously they're all done for the season. From a fantasy perspective.
No. Let's give it a try.
Don't be shy. Give it a try.
My
Roll up. Brap.
playoff bracket. No. Scores. Let's go with
Scores on
scores.
the doors.
So this is the last week. Well, we're reviewing the final week of the fantasy season. Next week we're going to do a fantasy roundup, because from this point on, for those of you that do know and those of you that don't know, from this point on the podcast will get a lot shorter because we're just talking like a few games. I think this week we're talking like 8 games or something in playoff.
4.
Yeah.
4 at the weekend.
So there's 4 this week.
Teams, sorry.
4 this week. 4 the week after. 2 the week after that. Then 1.
Boo. So we're going to do a wrap up of the fantasy season. We're going to talk about the first week of the playoffs. Before we do any of that, I'm going to go live to the Stats Mistress
Thank you
for Word of the Day.
for joining me over here. Word of the podcast is rambunctious.
Rambunctious.
Uncontrollably exuberant and boisterous, like a rambunctious little tyke.
Sure we can work that in. Jimmy it in somewhere.
Hopefully with plenty of lube. Right, let's jump right in there. Game 1, week 17, which is actually game 2 of the finals. Myself went up against my opponent, Mr. Philip Walls' team, Rivers Deep, Josh Gordon High. My team thought that 60 points was acceptable. Obviously, we have got that thing that a lot of the starters were sitting. We'll get on to Antonio Brown at some point, I'm sure. So 60 points was all I could manage. Thanks to the Saints defense for giving me a lovely -1. It was nothing to go up against Philip Walls' 76. Leaving me with 141 total for the 2 weeks, or round 2 as it says here, and Rivers Deep, Josh Gordon High, Philip Walls, 179 points for the win. Obviously, could have always put James Winston in, but hey, wouldn't have won it, ladies and gentlemen. Wouldn't have won it. I think I finished smack dab in the middle of the pack. I think I literally
6-0-12.
Literally finished in the middle. Next game.
The two of you predicted.
Right, well, let's leave the next
correct.
game. Shocker.
Overall winner.
I'm leaving the next game because the next game is the final, and some interesting stats. We had a Matthew from York write in with an interesting piece of information, which I'll cover on the final.
I don't like the sound of this already.
What is it? The losing bracket of the winning bracket. The what? Who didn't
consolation?
Go to
is it the consolation bracket,
or something? James Forrester Gray's Foosball is the Devil went up against my boy Thomas Quinn's I Don't Need a Gun, I've Got a Donk. Low scores: 58 for Foosball is the Devil, 55 Thomas Quinn. Giving a grand total of 170 points for James Forrester Gray's Foosball is the Devil, and 146 for Thomas Quinn's I Don't Need a Gun, I've Got a Donk.
It's probably the last time you ever have to say that.
Mm-hmm.
Thank fucking.
Until next season.
He better change his name by next season. Foosball is the Devil takes the win.
It's just dawned on me. I was on Sunday of this week, just gone. I was in town with Mr. Matthew Moore of the league.
Well, there was a rumour that Matthew Moore might have attended in person.
Yes.
Depending how the podcast fell.
And long-time fan / listener, Stuart Woodmansey.
Gave him a little shout out last week.
Did indeed. He as he travelled to York on the Sunday, he said he was listening to Yorkshire's #1 NFL podcast.
Somebody, I had a lunch date with a friend of mine the other day, and they addressed me as the host of Yorkshire's #1 NFL podcast. I was like,
excellent,
loving it.
My story continues, however. As Stuart has picked up on the fact that you get rather annoyed when people change their team names, and Matthew suggested that as a joke, I should have texted every member of the league and asked them to change their name for the final week, apart from you, but to change it to the word cookie being incorporated into the team name. So, for example, we would have had.
That would have been.
Bear with me. So we would have had the Oxford Cookies going up against Hyde and Cookie. Kaepernick's Cookie going up against Obi-Wan Cookie. Fussball is the cookie, or cookie is the devil.
I don't need a cookie, I've got a cookie.
Yeah, I don't need a gun, I've got a cookie. The Cookie playing Rivers Deep Josh Gordon Cookie. Squirrel Cookie against Thielen Cookie.
On. Cookie Killers.
Cookie Killers.
Come on.
Against Thielen Cookie. And Yorkshire Cookie against Come On Cookie.
See, all I can say to that, life is full of missed opportunities. I'd have loved
That would have been...
I would have cried.
Shout out to Mr. Moore. I forgot, mainly because we were about 7 or 8 beers deep at that point. So,
the only thing I will say to the foosball of the devil versus the Thomas Quinn is if Tom had played Josh Allen, wouldn't have.
it's weird.
He suffered for the fact that Rod just went off injured.
Yeah, you can't legislate.
And he's got Josh Allen sitting on the bench with 39.
He scored 5 total touchdowns. So he ran in 2. Oh no, yeah, he rushed in for 2, and he threw 3.
Insane.
He also threw an interception. So interesting.
Didn't hurt his numbers though, did it? Right, let's move on to the Sin Bin's only member Tim Lacey's team, the Squirrel Killers.
Now I have a question just before you go on with this. Does he remain in the Sin Bin until the start of next season?
So,
or is he in the Sin Bin just permanently?
So,
until he comes.
There are a couple of outs. The Sin Bin's only member did suggest something that I would definitely like to see happen, which I'll keep as a secret, so surprise. I think you know about it. If it happens, Tim, I will personally walk you out of the Sin Bin.
You'll give him a hand out of the bin.
I did not know where you were going with
Give
that.
Give him a hand.
Sorry. As it was his birthday.
Out of the Sin Bin. Squirrel Killers went up against Matthew Moore's Thielen Good.
Thielen Cookie.
Thielen Cookie went up against Cookie Killers. Don't know what... I've said this many times. I've said it to his face. I don't know what Tim was thinking, you know. Let's play at the end of the season. That's time to win. Playoff push and all that. He posted a 92 that week versus a 44 from Matthew Moore.
Lay an egg.
Like I keep saying, the scores of this week are just... They're going to be low because a lot of the starters are sitting on the bench.
Yes, they do.
And the Squirrel Killers ended on 192 for the 2 weeks versus 169 from Thielen Good. Squirrel Killers takes the win.
I'm not sure why, but I had 125 written down for yourself in relation to Tim. Did you think he was going to win by 125?
Maybe.
I don't know. You were the only one to correctly predict him winning the week and winning the fortnight.
Well, Matt didn't Matt like a lead, like 100, like a 25, 30 point lead.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what I've said. Maybe I've said not only is he going to win it, he's going to win it by 125 points. Did he win it by 125
Or he needed 125.
Something like that.
To make up. And
so maybe I said he'll get it and get the win. Comment below. Next game of the week was the 3-time Ace Award winner, 3-time podcast participant, Mr. Rob Rafflin's Yorkshire Knights goes up against our very own Stats Mistress with her team Come On Saquon. 70 points from the Yorkshire Knights versus 105 for Come On Saquon. Ending the round with 132 to the Yorkshire Knights. 167 for the Stats Mistress.
Now, is this the one that was tied?
It was tied.
Tied.
It was backwards
62,
backwards and forwards throughout. Obviously, Rob suffered with the Tannehill issue.
I mean, any man who is starting Ryan Tannehill in fantasy wants to have a word with themselves, Rob.
Versus your likes of Matt Ryan with his 27. So
Big money Matt.
A dub for the Stats Mistress.
Taking me from a mere 10th place tonight.
Woo!
Winning.
That is what some people might describe as quite rambunctious.
I'm not sure anyone would
Accurate
in that way, but go for it, yeah.
Just got it in there.
Roll with it.
Done. I'm still revelling from the week I didn't use it.
Cheers.
Not the final game, but a final game. Benji keeps Oxford Browns. Oh, what a finishing number to finish on. Great. Oxford Browns, Benji keeps team went up against my glamorous co-host, Mr. Paul Williams' Hide and Zeke. Low scores. We'll come to you in a minute about that. 53 from Benji Keep, 45 from my glamorous co-host. Load of zeros. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros between the two teams. We've got a 1, a 2, a 2, a 3, couple of 5s. Benji's team had 1 player to break double digits. Mr. Williams had 2 to break double digits. One of those is a defense. Oxford Browns ended on 1, 2, 3. And my glamorous co-host takes a win with a 1-5-4. Now then, I think this was mentioned on last week's podcast. Would you like to talk us through your selection process for your team?
I was thinking not to take the piss or be a dick.
The short version is, ladies and gentlemen, that when Paul Williams looked at those last place coasters,
what can I say? I just love neoprene. Is that what they're made of?
Yeah, I think they will.
The thing that got me, I was showing somebody the picture of the coasters the other day. I was like, hang on a minute, there's 4 coasters. How many cars? Oh wait, no.
Mine does.
No, 2 in the back.
Yeah.
2 in the back. Yeah, Leon's got.
Well, sometimes you get the 2 that are in
the
centre console. Then you get sometimes you got them ones that are in the
glove box. I'm completely wrong. I'm way off. So yeah, talk us through your selection process for that.
So I thought, team. I've got a little bit of a gap.
That's what she said.
I've got some points to play with. I'm going to see if I can cobble together the worst possible. Well, not the worst possible team, but a questionable team, and see if that'll still be able to put Ben in his place. So I took
really
arguably the worst quarterback in the league, Josh Rosen. Scored me 5 points. I put in TJ Yeldon and Jaquiz Rogers for a combined total.
Whoa! Can I just ask a quick question? Who's got Jaquiz?
Turns out I had Jaquiz.
Who's got Jaquiz?
Because I picked him up last minute. So Jaquiz Rogers and TJ Yeldon combined for a whopping 3 yards rushing.
Well done, boys.
That was mainly because TJ Yeldon was sat on his ass on the sidelines, but because he's a twat. And then, to be fair, after that, the rest of them were all fairly decent picks. Doug Baldwin, fair enough. Calvin Ridley, fair enough. Played Jared Cook and Cameron Brace. I played 2 tight ends. That's sometimes a bit of a piss take.
Sometimes.
Thought I'll put in a terrible defence, so I'll put in the Cincinnati Bengals defence. And they score a fucking touchdown. What the fuck is up with that? And then I thought, well, the Cardinals are pretty shit. I'll take their kicker, put him in, and he scores 14 points! The fuck? And it was enough to give me the win.
It was, and it's played you out of the last place trophy position. The wooden spoon, some might say.
The neoprene spoon.
Neoprene spoon. So, I think Benji has agreed to be... So we're going to do like a big fantasy roundup next week. I think there's going to be a few participants. But certainly the league winner, who will be announced shortly, and the wooden...
But you can't guess who it is.
A wooden spoon winner of both confirmed attendance, partially in person. Benji will be on the phone. We'll all be here, probably.
Partially in person, you're just going to sound like their head.
So, let's do the bit that nobody wants to do. Let's talk about
that. Means that Cole won, yeah? Because you sound so happy about it. Did he win the week? He did. He did win the week.
He did.
So, this is what Matthew from York wrote in about. because there was a possibility that this final
he asked me about this.
Could have gone to a tie. So the question was, who would have won the final if it had gone to a tie? The answer, you'd be surprised here or not, is it goes to points. If...
Scored over the season? Or...
No. If it had gone to points, then the other person would have won. So, Matthew, 2 teams Hurley, with his team, the Kaepernick's Knight, went up against Colin Wright's Obi-Wan Mahomes. I presume Toots was winning going into this?
Yeah, so
week 1.
he was on 104.
Yeah, I could have worked that out.
And Cole was on 80...
2? No.
8?
Yeah.
No.
78.
Yeah, 78.
Yeah, some
I
points.
So, unfortunately, we are going to have to break this down. Part of the reason I'm wearing the jersey is, Toots, if you'd have put look in.
Also, let's put it this way, the most Toots-like way to win it.
So, I'd love to have, picture-in-picture of us talking about how Toots was going to Toots this. So, let's talk
Did
some
I say
scores.
something like that?
We all said how this was going to be done.
I didn't pass comment. But, Paul, you said he would win by 1 point.
Yeah.
You said he would win by 2 points, and it would basically come down to the kicker or the last player.
So let's talk some scores. Matthew, with Kaepernick's Knight, got a 92 for the week. For those of you who are keeping count, you probably worked this one out already. And Cole got 112. So Cole wins week 2.
20 points.
Finishing round 2, week 17, the final of the league. Colin, Obi-Wan Mahomes, 190 points. It's a brilliant, it's a well-deserved score. Matthew, Kaepernick's Knight, 196 points to take the win. Congratulations, Matthew. Congratulations to your team, Kaepernick's
Well deserved.
Well done. We knew you could do it. We were all rooting for you since week 1.
From week 1, we knew this one was coming. From the draft, some might say. So, like I say, I'll pop the Luck jersey on because Toots could have dominated if he'd have put Luck in versus Roethlisberger. Luck would have got him a 22-pointer, whereas Roethlisberger got him 13. Pat Mahomes was on a low-scoring week, unfortunately, for Cole, with only 17. You've got your Jay Mixon versus your T. Coleman, couple of 10s either side, no worries there. McCaffrey, low-scoring week, unfortunately, for Cole. Tyreek Hill, 23 points. Nice. Sitting there on Cole's lineup. Juju Smith-Schuster had a quiet week. Jordy Nelson. These are Cole had a player that posted a 0, which is definitely what you want in the last week of the matchups. Then we're talking about Kittle with his 20. Cole played the Kansas City Chiefs defense, 23 points. Justin Tucker as your kicker, 15 points. Going into the last game, Matthew was losing heavily. Pretty sure he sent a little message. Oh, what are the chances that Marlon Mack's going to have a really good week? Quite high. But, it's a bad week for scores, it's a bad week for players. People get him in, you never know, they might bench him beforehand. 15 points.
Did he score a touchdown by any chance?
Well, take away the fumble, take away the 119 yards, But don't take away the touchdown, will you? So, question would be, did it come down to the last player? Yes, it did. Did that last player score more than enough points to give Matthew the win? Yes, it did. Did Matthew win the league? Yes, he did.
Yay!
Don't yay that.
Such enthusiasm.
Well done, Matt. You know I jest. I'm a big fan of yours. Almost as big as Phil. Don't know what that's all about. So that's it. The winner. You reckon that he's been bought and paid for? Dirty tactics. The winner of the 2018 the York League Fantasy Football, Matthew Hurley, with his team Kaepernick's neck. Well done, Matt. Well done.
Matt. And before we move on, I'd just like to say well done to you, because you correctly predicted the outcome of all 6 games.
Oh! Make it rain, bitch!
If there is one man in this room that can correctly predict a game or two,
Or 6.
somebody will have to, before we wrap all of this up in the coming months, somebody will have to go back and actually tot up all the scores over the weeks to find out who's the overall season winner. Pretty sure that's your job.
I suggest we just do it from week 8. Because they're the ones that we have written down.
Probably. I'm sure there will be a way to do it that's not tediously boring and time consuming.
Go back and listen to the podcast. Podcast is awesome.
Yeah.
So there we go.
There we go.
So does that bring us to last week's games?
The actual game.
The week 17
Week 17.
match-ups.
Games.
Yes?
Not sure we can use that for our music.
Oh shit, no, that's like licensed music. Week 17 of 17. Do you remember when it was like week 4 and I was like, the season's nearly over?
We were like, no, it'll last
No,
forever.
it'll last forever. Tell you something, these rings are really heavy. I think I'm losing a little bit of feeling in that little.
Well, take that one off and just wing it straight out the window.
And give it to you to wear so that you can embrace it.
Fuck off.
Flash
Game
over.
1, week 17 of 17. Bills Dolphins.
Fins up.
Fins up. Apparently not. Fins down. The Bills beat the Dolphins 42-17.
I think the sensible folk in the room might have called that one.
That was myself.
What?
And you.
There we go.
Did I go for the Dolphins?
You did.
Bills! I think the Bills will have a great season next season.
I don't think the Bills will ever have a great season. Packers versus the Lions. Barely. The Packers got completely shut out on this one. The Lions, 31 points. Packers, 0.
Well, the Packers did have Deshaun Kaiser playing as their quarterback for the majority of the game.
Yeah, Rodgers went out well early on that one. And no surprises. Oh, did they start talking about whether the Packers should draft a quarterback? Because, you know, Rodgers is 38.
No, he's not. He can't be that old. He can't be.
35?
That makes more sense. He can't be 38, surely. He doesn't look old.
There was some relation in
Well,
to
Brady's
Brady.
40.
Brady's 40.
Let's have a look.
You have a look at that.
Aaron
Nobody saw that coming.
Rodgers.
Nobody would see that going.
Radgers. Yeah, he's 35.
There you go. 35, I was right.
Second time.
35's not that old in the NFL, especially if you're just a guy who sits in the pocket.
Just takes pass. Next game of the week was the Patriots versus the Jets.
As in like that.
Okay. The Patriots saw the Jets and they went, nah. 38 to the Patriots, 3 to the Jets. Well done, the Jets.
Now, for some reason, I thought the Jets might win. I was thinking. You said the Patriots would win not by much, and you said the Patriots would win by 21. You were probably closest of the three, but still a way
Well,
off.
because you picked the Jets. Yeah. Oh, God.
Saints, Panthers. I wonder who picked the Panthers.
Do you know the worst thing? No, I didn't.
Huh?
I gave you all this thing about, there was the fact that the season the Saints won the Super Bowl. They lost to the Bucks, the Cowboys, and the Panthers. And it was
you should have backed
in the
it.
same way, and stuff like that. And then at the end it was like, Saints, please.
You should have.
Yeah.
Did I pick the Panthers?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought I'd pick the
I'm
Saints.
pretty sure you were like, I'm going with it.
And you thought Christian McCaffrey would reach 2,000.
Yeah, I kind of wanted that to happen. And it did not.
You did not.
Did he play?
No. I think he was on start and then
Had Teddy Bridgewater playing as quarterback. Shit!
nobody saw that one.
Yeah, I was going to say, no one saw that one coming.
They benched... Because they benched Drew Brees and they benched somebody else. Was it?
Alvin Kamara.
Kamara.
I don't think Kamara played a snap.
And the Panthers were playing their third string?
At the end of the game, it was the fourth string, wasn't it? Because I think the guy who they had come, he went out.
Played
injured.
one snap. Yeah, you're out of it. So
I thought he played till like the second half or something like that. But I know he didn't finish the game.
14 to the Saints, 33 to the Panthers. Big win for the Panthers. The Texans played the Jaguars. The Texans had 20 points. The Jaguars had 3.
We all got that right.
Giants played the Cowboys. Cowboys and the Giants were very close.
You said that the Cowboys would win not by much.
Parallel's right.
Yeah.
36-35. That is fucking close.
That is not much.
That is almost literally the closest it could be with a Cowboys win.
Mm. Bucks Falcons. The Falcons won
Jesus,
34,
I was looking down, that scared me.
32. Is anyone surprised that the Chiefs beat the Raiders? Is anyone surprised that the Chiefs beat the Raiders because they got 35 points? The Raiders got 3. Anybody surprised? You? You're surprised.
They're going to win, but not by much, was sort of a catchphrase for last week because you said that about the Chiefs over the Raiders as well.
Yeah, and what by much?
Only
32.
Yeah.
Seahawks Cardinals. The Seahawks did not win by much. 27-24.
It's probably because of that excellent kicker they've got.
The Rams and the 49ers. What is going on with the 49ers? The 49ers scored 32 points. The Rams scored 48 points. Pretty sure, I was proper panicking because I needed loads of Rams points, and I did it only if I was building a bed, and I heard this noise and I was like, "Oh, the fucking Rams!" Oh my god! I was like, "They turned over. They turned the ball over. I can't fucking believe it. Can't believe they turned the ball over." I was like, "Hang on a minute." And I said to you, I was like, "Can you just go and check that?" No. They'd got the ball back after scoring almost immediately. I think they were 14 points in the first couple of minutes of the game. It was like, yeah, that'll do. The Broncos and the Chargers. The Chargers dominated that 23-9.
You backed the Broncos in that.
Of course did.
Yeah.
Bellend. The Vikings played the Bears. The Bears won 24-10.
Dear. Vikings did not turn up at all.
The Ravens played the Browns. Now, did you see the game? Think about the Steelers chanting for the Browns.
Yeah, did you not see it? So the Steelers game finished before the Browns game did. So
and
everyone
stayed on the pitch.
They just turned the screens onto the Browns game, and everyone was just like.
And the Steelers fans were cheering for the Browns. Unfortunately, the Browns weren't able to complete.
Even with Paul's backing.
26-24.
They had a chance as well. They were driving. They were driving on after the 2-minute one, and then old Baker turned the ball over.
Eagles went up against the Redskins barely. The Eagles shut out the Redskins 24-0.
Yep, we all correctly saw that.
Listen, put Nick Foles in. The Steelers played the Bengals. This is kind of the Steelers beat the Bengals, but still got shut out of the playoffs, unfortunately. It's sad. Like I said, I don't know whether you've got anything Antonio Brown related. I've been talking about it for the last few days. Something like... So supposedly he's had a tantrum and now he's not returning anyone's phone calls and now he's put in for a trade request. So...
Watch this space, I think.
Yeah,
They're saying that he's too much of
a diva! A wide receiver diva!
Yeah. And there's too many divas on the Steelers for the...
Yeah, this is what they were saying.
Tomlin to control.
Yeah.
Paul said big win for the Steelers there.
It was big. It was a
3 points.
Yeah. 3 points is 3 points.
A big 3-point win.
Yeah.
The Titans went up against the Colts, and the Colts won 33-17. Obviously, that was another game that it depended on a lot of stuff. If this team went through, that team went through. Ultimately,
God damn it.
Pull back the Titans there.
Yeah.
Why would you do that, Paul?
Unknown reason.
Well, I thought Mariota was going to play, and then he didn't.
They were saying at the time they're not sure what's happening with Mariota.
It's a nerve problem in his arm.
Is it
or
his
his
elbow
hand.
again?
Yeah, it could be.
Affecting his...
If you have that, you sometimes can't grip the ball. So
Yeah, so they made him that glove thing, didn't they? That incorporates like 2 of his fingers so he can still grip. So he still managed to play for a little bit, but I think
He didn't play at all on...
he didn't play at all on Sunday. But
Has been
I think
earlier in the
there was some question around whether he'll play. I heard something about this is a complete different subject, but it's still the same subject. Gronk's last year. Somebody just threw that out. They were like talking about the Patriots and talking about like coaches and this and that, and ran down from Brady, Edelman, Gronk, and they were like, Brady, his age, Edelman's out, going down and is basically out the door. Gronk's last year. I was like, where is all this information coming from?
yeah, if Gronk retires, no one will be surprised.
No,
Has he not
I'm
got...
surprised he hasn't. I
But
thought he was going to go
his
2
arm's
seasons
injured
ago. That was
Isn't he wearing...
JJ. JJ had the 2 braces on.
Yes, he did, yeah.
Because he didn't start the game with 2, but he so far in ended up with two of the arm braces. Which, best thing I heard about that is JJ's arm brace. It's not an arm brace.
No, that's a different guy. That's a guy who plays for the Cowboys. So he's a guy.
That's the guy with the knee brace.
That's the guy who's got a knee brace on his arm because his arms are that big that he has to wear a knee brace on his arm, and everyone's just like, "What the fuck?"
So
Rundown on last
sounds
week's
like
predictions.
sounds like it was all over the shop.
You correctly got 12. Paul and I both got 13.
So lucky for you.
So it's a fight to the death.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
I have a weapon.
A pen?
Smiling in the sword.
Stab your eyeball with it.
Throw my ninja throwing phone.
I am not going to be a part of this.
So to recap on the scores that we predicted for the season, those that have actually been captured. So
Go.
from week 8, so that takes us to the end of the regular season. You won 2 weeks out of the, what is that,
8,
9?
9, yeah.
I won 5 weeks. Paul won 6.
Yeah, buddy! Yeah, buddy!
Toots wins the league, you win the predictions. Jesus Christ, what is this league? Oh, God, it makes me sick. Sick in my mouth. My vomit was sick. Is it stats o'clock?
We can go through some stats.
Are they rambunctious stats? Deuces, bitch!
2 uses.
2 times!
Right, we don't have standard stats this week.
Yes, I heard a rumour that the stats were not
I couldn't
standard.
find. Yeah, I felt like everyone's bypassed week 17 and just looking forward to the playoffs.
Yeah, nobody cares about week 17.
So, I have some stats here. Top 5 quarterbacks for passing yards. I have the names in front of me.
Okay. Patrick Mahomes.
Number 2.
You know this?
I think I know the top 5.
Matt Ryan.
Number 3.
Yeah?
Tom Brady.
Number 5, maybe? He was in the top 5 at one point.
Not
So he's been
post.
been
week
edged out
17.
after week 17. In that case, I don't know. Ooh,
Mitchell. Andrew Luck.
5.
Number 5, yeah.
So how many is that? We've got 3 of the
2
5.
to go. I know who's number 1 because I've already seen it. So we need 1 and 4. Yeah.
Correct. Number 1 is, I find that quite surprising.
Number 4, Aaron Rodgers.
No,
Oh, he must have got edged out as well then.
no. So Andrew Luck has got 4,593 passing yards at number 5.
Dak Prescott.
No.
No, he was nowhere near.
Drew Brees.
No. It's
The
not.
person-
Breeze is he's like way down for some reason.
The person at number 4 has got 4,688 passing yards. Whereas the one at number 1 has got 5,000.
Roethlisberger.
Roethlisberger's number 1.
He's number 1.
Russell Wilson.
No.
God damn it. Marcus Mariota.
No.
I'm
But
just
who's
going to
the other
name one.
great?
Rivers?
No. Winning team
Goff.
Ah!
most of the season.
Damn it.
Yeah. Goff in number
Should
4.
have had that. I'm most disappointed.
Okay.
Rushing leaders?
No, hang on.
Receiving
45.
leaders.
No, just hold on.
Sorry!
Top 5 quarterbacks for passing touchdowns.
Oh, Jesus, mate. Mahomes won.
Mahomes because he got 50.
50 plus. Did he get exactly 50?
He's got 50 because it puts him at the top of the rookie quarterbacks to score 50. Well, the highest scoring rookie quarterback. He's at the top. Because is Brady on the list? Manning?
No, I don't think you're thinking of...
Oh, this is not all time.
This
This
is
is
just
this
this
season. Regular season, unless you meant Eli.
No one ever means Eli.
OBJ.
What about him?
He's off as well, isn't
Is he?
he? Yep. He's on the trade block.
Interesting.
I think by request, though. I think.
Touchdown leaders, right? So Mahomes is 1.
Yeah. You've got some of the same names.
Roethlisberger?
Yeah. 5th place, 34.
Brady.
No.
Matt Ryan?
4th at number with 35.
Luck?
2nd, 39. And the 3rd has also got 35.
Trubis? No.
You've mentioned him already.
Russell Wilson.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Russell Wilson is the best fourth quarter quarterback in the NFL.
See, for a while it was Stafford. Or Stafford had the most fourth quarter comeback victories. So when he's trailing in the fourth quarter, he's got the most wins, I think.
Go.
Okay,
That's
top
good.
5 rushing back. No. Top 5 running backs for rushing yards.
Henry.
Now he only came on in the last sort of like couple of weeks.
No. He is in the top 5 for touchdowns, however.
And they're all, like, most of those are in the last, like, 3 weeks of the season. It's ridiculous.
Okay, so
Number 1,
Some obvious ones in there.
Ezekiel Elliott.
Correct.
Number 2,
Todd Gurley.
Not number 2.
see,
No,
he
but
was
he's got
number
to be on the list.
See, he was 2 for ages.
Yeah, he was.
But he's not played the last 2 weeks.
Nudged out.
James Conner.
No, he's on the top 5 for touchdowns though.
McCaffrey?
No. Didn't make it. So you're looking for number 2, number 4 and number 5.
So Zeke had what, 1,400?
Yep.
And there's the next guy down 1,200.
13.
Saquon.
Yes.
Saquon Barkley just gets lost in the ether a lot of the time. I'm
Because he's
like,
down the bottom.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit,
it's
yeah.
because his team's got...
his team's dog shit.
He's basically his own team.
He is his own.
So then Todd Gurley in 3rd with 1,200. So it's the last 2 with 11, both with 1,100. One,
Peterson, maybe?
no. One is a Bengals player.
Joe Mixon.
And the last one in 5th place is a Squawk.
A Squawk?
Yeah.
Chris Carson?
Yes.
Really?
See, he sort of ramped up in the last couple of
Yeah, in
weeks
the
as
last
well.
few weeks.
And then for the top 5 for touchdowns, you've already mentioned Derek Henry,
Gurley.
James Conner. They both had 12. Gurley is top of the list at 17.
One per week at least. Interesting.
And then you've got...
Is this just rushing touchdowns?
Yeah.
Because he's got receiving touchdowns as well, I think.
Oh, no.
Total touchdowns.
Could
But
be.
for running
It's
backs.
just as a running back with their total touchdowns, yeah.
So what we get? We've got Gurley, Connor, and
Henry.
Derrick Henry.
So you've got the 2nd position with 14 and 5th with 10. One...
Saquon?
Saquon isn't 5th.
I've got good. You were going to say something.
I was going to say that one of them had already been mentioned for the rushing yards, which was Saquon. One of them didn't appear in the rushing yards.
Okay, you ready? Philip Lindsay. Best
was-
undrafted player NFL history.
It's somebody that was benched in this last week.
Alvin Kamara.
Yes.
Dang!
14 TDs.
Gronk, if you like my TDs.
The last one is wide receivers. Receiving yards. Top 5.
Antonio
Julio
Brown.
Jones is number 1.
That's no to you. Antonio's not on there. Julio, yes.
Thielen?
No.
See, he started off like an absolute train and then just faded.
Go on.
Juju Smith Schuster.
Yeah.
Yes!
5th place. Just coming back to Antonio, he is the first of 5. Oh my god.
Jesus! I thought I was having a stroke.
Yeah, boy!
Fuck.
For receiving touchdowns. 15.
You cheating?
No, I've got something to go on to next.
Juju got named MVP for the Steelers, didn't he?
Michael Thomas.
Voted by the players?
Yeah. No,
Not for yards. Well,
don't know who that is.
Michael Thomas, wide receiver for the Saints.
I wouldn't have been able to play this game because I don't know the difference between a running back and a wide receiver.
I see.
I know what the difference is, but in terms of what position they play in. Do you want a
Cooks?
clue? Who?
Cooks.
No. So you've got Julio at number 1 and Juju at number 5. You've got 2 1,500 yards and 1 at 1,400.
Why is this so hard?
I've got a thing where I want to say because Todd Gurley doubled.
What's his name? Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, no. He would only appear as the because he's not a wide receiver. Tyreek is in there. He's at number 4.
Okay.
And you've got a Buccaneer.
Evans, Mike Evans.
Yes. Number 3. And number 2.
Try to think who finished in the top. Echelons. Is it someone who's in the playoffs?
Yes.
Why do I want to say Edelman?
Didn't play the first 4 games of the season.
Of course he didn't.
Not Edelman. Notice how none of the Patriots play in
No.
these.
It's because they're so spread across as a team.
This is riveting viewing.
Yeah, I was just thinking
let's
dead air.
Yeah.
To the max.
To anyone listening. Is it Texan?
Oh, DeAndre fucking Hopkins.
Yes.
Damn it.
Jesus Christ.
Yep.
Damn it.
And then in terms of receiving touchdowns, you've got Antonio at number 1 with 15. DeAndre's 5th with 11. Tyreek 4th with 12. And then you've got 2 and 3 that haven't been mentioned in the top 5 for receiving yards. Both got 13. Go.
13 receiving yards.
No.
Touchdowns.
Touchdowns.
Is it just receivers? Or is Travis Kelce on the list?
Kelsey's not in there, no. You've got 1 Colt.
T.Y. Not T.Y. Hilton?
No.
Kenny Golladay?
No.
Oh, maybe he's a lion, actually. A Colt?
Yes.
Wide receiver? That's not T.Y. Hilton?
I thought he was a
Eric
tight
Ebron?
end. Yeah.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah.
That's why you pointed at me. I'm like, huh?
And a Packer.
Cobb?
No.
Devontae Adams?
Yes. Correct. There you go. Fun little game.
Not for the people at home. The people at home that
So you
knew
just,
all the
you just skipped
answers
through that 10 minutes.
were screaming.
Probably. I'm not going to go through the next section because it would just be painful.
Just go through the answers.
I will do. So these lists are thanks to the team at Sports Illustrated.
Thank you, Sports Illustrated.
Yeah.
SI.
I think they had 12 or 15 team members that all put in a vote for, I've got 3 sections here, Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Saquon Barkley.
Yep.
Or
He's in
possibly
there.
Baker Mayfield.
There are 8 positions they've voted, but they've got Baker at number 1, Saquon at number 2.
Baker over Saquon Barkley?
Yep.
Insane.
Yep. 9 first place votes. Apparently
Wow,
out there
that's
too.
amazing. Lamar Jackson?
He's in there.
Josh Allen, maybe?
Yeah. He's in there.
Philip Lindsay?
Yep. Oh, go on. Go
James
on.
Conner?
No.
I don't know if he qualifies because he might have been there last year. Nick Chubb?
Yes. 2 more.
Calvin Ridley?
No.
Oh, bastard, you swine.
There's one guy here, I've never heard of him actually. Colts player.
Yeah, you have to use
Doesn't
that
mean
one.
anything. His name is Quenton.
Sorry?
Quenton.
Quenton?
That's his first name. I was just giving you a clue. Quenton Nelson.
Made such a huge impact on the gentleman that nobody's fucking heard of it.
And the last player on their list, Patriot.
Sonny Michel?
Yes.
I'm there going, white? What? No.
Then they voted Offensive Player of the Year, non-quarterback.
Oh, I was going to say Mahomes nailed on, but
No.
it's not a quarterback.
They've
Saquon Barkley?
9 people on this list. Saquon is in there.
Lindsay?
No.
Antonio Brown? Julio Jones?
No. No.
Julio.
No.
Kelsey?
No.
Tyreek Hill?
Yes. Oh wait, did someone say Julio? He is on there.
We
Sorry.
both said Julio.
He's number 9. Tyreek. Saquon.
Michael Thomas?
Yes, he's in there.
Alvin Kamara?
No.
Adrian Peterson?
No.
Fucking hell's sake. You have to tell us the rest, because...
DeAndre's in there.
Damn it.
McCaffrey.
Of course.
And Zach Ertz.
My ball, Zach Ertz.
And then the final section is just MVP.
Mahomes?
They've got 15 people.
Mahomes,
between them in there.
Breeze,
15 people.
Yeah.
Goff,
Brady.
Gurley, possibly Ezekiel Elliott,
Antonio Brown.
Zeke, Gurley, yeah. Brady.
Breeze, Mahomes,
Mahomes, Breeze.
Roethlisberger because he had yardage, maybe
No.
Rivers,
Yeah.
Melvin Gordon.
I'm getting further and further away from.
Who's the guy who's the defensive player for the Rams? Not Darnold. Donald.
Yeah.
JJ.
No.
Yeah.
JJ should be on all the lists.
Andrew Luck.
Yeah, no.
What?
either on the list or he isn't.
He is on the list. There is also Russell Wilson, Deshaun Watson, Khalil Mack, DeAndre Hopkins, McCaffrey, you might have already said him, Bobby Wagner, and Baker Mayfield.
Baker! Let's go Baker!
Okay, my final thing to run through, and I'll do this one quickly. This is thanks to Alex Finnis. Now, a lot of the stats that we've had have come from this guy. Girl, maybe. I think it's a guy.
Could be a girl. Ooh, hello!
Because these eyes don't see gender or colour. Go.
Has ranked the last 12 teams in the order that they think they're likely to win.
Yeah, so the likelihood of who's going to win.
Oh, so the 12 playoff teams,
yeah.
From least likely to most likely.
Can I look at the teams?
They'd probably have the Cowboys ranked 12th. Or maybe the Colts?
Right, playoff picture.
Eagles?
Hello?
So Eagles 12th.
Yes.
The defending champions,
yes.
12th.
Yeah.
Cowboys 11th?
No. Excuse me.
Chargers?
No.
No, because they're quite strong. Just because they're the 6th seed doesn't mean they're not quite decent. Maybe the Texans, because they've not got an awful lot. Like after DeAndre Hopkins, they've not got an awful lot of receiver.
Colts.
Oh my god.
Colts.
So Colts 11.
Yeah.
Cowboys 10.
Gotta be.
Seahawks 9. Or
No.
Texans 9.
Texans 9.
Seahawks 8.
Yeah.
Then the
Chargers 7. Ravens 7.
Ravens, yeah.
Chargers 6.
No.
Somebody is going to have to explain to me the whole Chargers thing. I don't fucking get it.
What? Second best overall record in the league?
Don't fucking get it.
5th seed. That's why I hate the way the seeding system is done.
I just don't understand it. So where are we up to?
Number 6.
I can't think who the 3rd seed is in the AFC.
The Bears.
Oh, it's the Texans. We've already
This
mentioned.
team's in a wild card position, I think.
That's Eagles
Oh,
or
no,
Seahawks.
no, they're not at all. No. Just never listen to anything I say. It's the Patriots.
I see.
Number 5.
Bears.
Yes. Number 4.
Rams.
No.
Bears.
No.
Did I just say the
Number 5.
Bears? Bears.
Go back to the team that you were just arguing
Chargers.
about. Yeah.
Bears.
Yeah. Chargers number 4. Number
3.
3.
Rams.
Yes.
2 Chiefs.
Yes.
1 Saints.
Yeah. Obviously, this is just one person's particular opinion.
Makes sense. You'd get. I think you'd get quite a few people thinking it's going to be a Chiefs Saints Super Bowl.
Well,
yeah, pretty much.
that takes
That's
me
my
on
money.
to
Ooh.
your prediction.
Ooh.
Super Bowl prediction
Super Bowl prediction.
for the two teams. Not necessarily winning, because we can leave that until a future week. But
I've got a really sneaky feeling for the Cowboys.
Cowboys are going to go out straight away.
Yeah, it's a possibility. I don't know. There's just something about them. So if they get through, they're the 4th seed. So that means they would go to New Orleans unless the Eagles beat the Bears. Because this is the thing. It's all like based on who wins out, because it's all about the lowest and the highest seedings and stuff like that. So I'll go Bears will beat the Eagles and just put paid to all this fucking Saint Nick nonsense. That can just go and fuck off. The Cowboys will take care of the Seahawks, and then it'll be Cowboys, Saints, Rams, Bears.
wait, so the Bears don't play the Saints?
No, so the Bears
okay.
play the Eagles because it's 3 versus 6.
I mean, the outcome of that game.
And then the lowest remaining seed goes to the highest remaining seed.
So Cowboys.
So Cowboys would go to New Orleans,
They're playing at home,
And
aren't they?
so the Saints are at home for all the games they're there for. So the Cowboys would go to the Saints and the Bears would go to LA.
Yeah.
That's a tough one, that. I'd go for the Rams to beat the Bears, just.
Yeah.
And like I say, there's some sort of sneaky feeling about the Cowboys, but then if the Cowboys go to LA, they'll get absolutely destroyed.
Yeah.
I'll go Rams Chiefs.
That's what I was thinking.
Although Saints Chiefs would not surprise me at all. To be fair, wouldn't surprise me if the fucking Patriots are there.
You're saying the same, Ram?
The only thing is that the Rams are going to have a fresh Todd Gurley because he'll have had 3 weeks off at that
There's
point.
a lot of talk about this. Todd Gurley will have had a load of weeks because they're going with a bye. Blah, blah, blah.
Hasn't played the last 2 weeks.
Hasn't played 2 weeks and a bye. Coming in fresh, hasn't touched football in 3 weeks. He's going to be, smashing it.
So on the other side, we've got the Chargers Ravens. Which, if the Chargers beat the Ravens, they would then play the Chiefs.
Not necessarily. So, if the Chargers beat the Ravens, the Chargers are the 5th seed, and it's all dependent on who wins out of the
Texans and Colts as
Texans-Colts game. Because if the Colts win, the Colts go to the Chiefs because they're the lowest remaining seed. So, it's all predicated on who wins which game.
So if the Colts win and the Chargers win?
Well, if the Colts win, the Colts have to go to the Chiefs.
So the Chargers will be up against the Patriots?
Yeah.
And really, there's no...
Chargers-Ravens should be the best game of the weekend, really. I mean, they're all good games.
Do you know what? I think the Patriots might make it.
Yeah, it's...
You can never...
No.
Ever...
Tom Brady in January is a totally different...
Ever count out the Patriots. Ever. I just think this is the best year in a long time to maybe count them out. The Patriots have been all over the place for the entire season. They have been up, they've been down, they've been winning, they've been losing. It's the first time we've started to see the cracks in the team. And I think if you see any of these teams beat the Patriots, you're going to go, yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
It's the first time that it feels like that's okay.
Well, I'm just so that I'm sort of saying something different though to what Paul said. I'm going with the Patriots Saints.
But I think it's something like the last 3 or 4 Super Bowls, it's been the number 1 seed on both sides, apart from the season the Cowboys finishes the 1 seed. So stats like them are made to be broken. Rams Chiefs.
I would happily watch that game.
It was what, 51-53 the last time they played.
Yeah, and I would really struggle to pick a side. I'd probably end up coming down on the Rams.
I think I just quite. It's the sort of thing where if it is the Rams versus the Chiefs, it's good because it's either one of them could sort of become like a total dynasty team because they're both young.
Yep.
And they can both, so like Goff or Mahomes could like be the guy for the next 10 years.
Yeah.
And so that'd be quite good. But
So what you saying?
I'm just going to quickly run through the bottom few games, and then I'm just.
I was going to say, are we not picking the actual games as well? Oh, okay.
We're gonna go into doing the games in a second. Cool. But I'm just thinking. I actually think the Seahawks will beat the Cowboys, and I think the Ravens will beat the Chargers. I think the Bears will beat the Eagles, and I think the Colts will beat the Texans.
Interesting.
As for Super Bowl, Rams Chiefs would be amazing. That's edge of your seat Super Bowl. But I'm going to say I think it's going to be a Chiefs Saints. Mm-hmm. I think the way it looks there is the way it's going to look by the end.
So you've got one versus one.
One-on-one, which is the way it should be at the end of the day. One versus one.
Yeah, but again, I don't like it because the Chargers have got the second best overall record in the NFL, and then the number 5 seed. How is that fair?
I I don't get the Chargers thing, if I'm honest. So let's just actually do the games in order. So we're now in 17 of 17 weeks are done. A load of teams drop out. It goes from 32 to 12. And some of those 12 won't play this week.
So 4 of the 12 don't play. So we've got the Chiefs, the Saints, the Patriots, and the Rams have all got a bye.
They've got byes. So there are 4 games. 1 on Saturday, 3 on Sunday. For us, I think it's technically 2 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday for the Americans. First game of the week is Texans-Colts.
In Texas, so in Houston, Andrew looks riding the hot hand, but I just think the Texans' home field will help them out. I'll go Texans. You've already said you're going Colts.
Put the Colts down in my box, please. What about you? Split decision.
It is. I'm going Colts. But it's
Okay.
Watson. I'm going Colts. I had a stat about Deshaun Watson.
Oh, we did the stats.
Yeah, I'm just seeing what it's saying. Deshaun Watson is guilty of holding onto the ball too long and can't stop getting sacked. 62 to be exact. That's the most in the NFL.
Yeah, I'd forgotten about that. That is a lot of sacks.
But he hasn't thrown an interception since week 11.
Interesting.
And he's got 3 rushing touchdowns in the last 2 weeks. I'm going Texans.
She's changed her mind.
Yeah.
So, the next wild card is the Cowboys versus the Seahawks, and you say what?
Seahawks.
I am also backing the Seahawks on this one.
Telling you, the Cowboys are going to go deep for me. I potentially think they could get to the championship game. Just got a sneaky feeling about them. Zeke's running like he's, a hungry man.
Hungry, but
Cowboy.
I'm going to go, Cowboys for me.
do it.
They're at home. I know it doesn't mean a lot for the Cowboys, but I reckon this is the season they're going to get it done to a certain extent.
Prescott became the first quarterback ever to win at least 30 games and throw fewer than 25 interceptions in his first 3 seasons.
Not bad.
The next game in the wild card round is the Ravens Chargers. I'm saying the Ravens.
I'm saying Chargers. Oh, sorry.
The Ravens
You're saying the
defense. The
Chargers.
Ravens defense is good.
Yeah.
The Chargers seem to play. They almost seem like they play better away from home, which is weird. This is, like I said earlier, this is the game of the week for me. I just want the Chargers to win because I think Rivers deserves like a chance at,
I have something to say.
Ooh, hello.
I changed my mind.
Again?
Yeah.
Come back to the Colts.
No, to the Ravens in this one.
Oh, did you say Chargers before?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying Ravens.
Yeah, I'm going to go Chargers. P-Riv. Getting it done.
Okay. And the last of the games
Bears.
is apparently the Bears versus the Eagles.
In Chicago, Khalil Mack just fucking shit up. Trubisky throwing diamonds to, everybody in sight. Chicago Bears.
I mean,
see you later, Philadelphia.
I had a lot to say about the Eagles last week, or maybe the week before. Eagles, Saint Nick, blah 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 blah. I don't think they can do what they need to do against this Bears team. The Bears are just
Insane.
on it.
Max 7 turnovers have helped Chicago to the second best differential in the NFL behind Seattle. He also has 12.5 sacks and 47 tackles.
Beast.
Yeah, Bears for me.
Beastie.
Bears for me.
So
That's
Bears
all
clean sweep there, so nobody's disagreeing on that
And
one.
that is the
so the
week.
Eagles will win that one.
Probably.
St. Nick in it.
So that is wild card
Well, week 17 review.
week 17
Done.
review done.
Week
1 of the playoffs
Week 1.
previewed.
Wildcard week.
Wild card weekend.
And is that us?
Yes.
Is that us?
That is us done.
Is that us done?
Yes.
End of days.
There we go.
Thank you.
End of days.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Ragnarok.
But most importantly,
Thank you.
Thank you. Cool.
Okay. We
Right,
should have
so-
turned the cameras off there.
Come back next week and see who
I'll be
predicted it.
You'll be there.
I will almost certainly.
I think I'm busy to be here. Yeah. Cool.
See ya.
So join us next week for our review of the first playoff, and then obviously we'll then have a better idea of what it's looking like going forward. The teams will be
4
dropping.
teams will have dropped.
4 teams.
8 will remain.
They're from 12 to 8 in one fell swoop. Wow.
Ooh, yeah.
Cheers. Bye 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 bye. Love you. Bye.
See ya. I didn't know what button to press.
Stop the audio.
Oh.
So there you go. What did you think to that? End of the regular season. Well, congratulations to Matthew for winning our fantasy league. Congratulations to all the NFL teams that have made it through to the playoffs. Commiserations for all of those that didn't. Look forward to seeing what the playoffs shape up like. I'm quite serious when I sort of said in the podcast that I think this has been one of the best sort of seasons, one of the best lineups for the playoffs. Really interested and excited to see what the Super Bowl is going to look like this year, because I think it'll be a really exciting Super Bowl. For all of you YouTube watchers, click the subscribe, click the bell, leave us a comment, tell us what you're thinking, tell us how you're finding the NFL podcast. Not many weeks left of it now. Everybody should jump over to the Cookiecast.com, give us some social media love, send us an email, just say hi. How about that? So yeah, until next week when we start talking playoff football, I'll say bye bye and I'll see you then. Bye.